Welcome, one and all, to the Big Buckin' Empire, folks, for our take and our analysis of the latest city council meeting and all of the controversy surrounding the VFW Constitution. Folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil, K.O.E. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Twitter. And worry not, ladies and gentlemen, Tony G will be here shortly. He will be here in no time flat. But without further ado, I think we should just start getting into it. And we will let me know what you think in the comments. Quick recap. The VFW wanted to have a constitution replica of it placed on its wall for about $500. City Councilwoman Jenny Cook responded in a way that the community did not take very kindly to. She has since issued an apology in the newspaper, which we will read a little later. But without further ado, let's get right into the meeting here, folks. This is where it all began, if you will. And so this is from, let's see, one moment. This is from Michael Chappell. Is from his Facebook account. So big shout out to him and his Facebook account here. But this is what we have thus far. Let's get right into it. We're starting right at the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
Right at 6 o'clock, whatever. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sorry.
City Council will come to order. Roll call.
Parker, here. Here. Casey. Here. Cook, here. Ted.
Here.
A copy of the Open Meetings Act is posted at the front of the room on the door to my left. Welcome everybody tonight. Good to see a full crowd here. We now have time for public comment. If anyone wishes to make any public comments, we do have a lot of people in the room, so in the interest of time, I would ask that you limit those to 3 minutes if you choose to do so. And please let us know who you are when you come up to the table here to make your public comments. So at this time, is there any public comment? Oh, sure, Tom. That's that. Sure thing.
So, good evening. My name is Tom Hyatt. I'm the commander of the Veterans of Foreign War Post 7102. I was approached by Mr. Wilson about getting a copy of the Constitution and hanging it on the wall. I'd also like to apologize to Mr. Wilson and the council for not being able to make it last month.
So this is the commander.
It would be a good idea to have a copy of the Constitution on the wall at this time, as it is the 250th anniversary of the United States. And considering the state of the world right now, it serves as a reminder for service members of the oath we took, and it's a good reminder of the principles we stand for. I'd also like to take a moment to share the role of the Veterans of Foreign War plays in supporting our community. Our post proudly participates in Memorial Day and Veterans Day services. We provide funeral honors for our fallen veterans and take part in local traditions like homecoming parades and for the 4th of July parades. We also open our doors to the community by allowing several organizations to use our building rent-free, including Fillmore County Military Support Group, the Fire Department, the Boy Scouts, the Sons of the American Legion, and the American Guard. In addition, we support our community through charitable giving.
Dr. Pepper.
We have contributed to projects such as the Veterans Memorial in Geneva and Claremont. We provide $3,000 in scholarships each year to local students and help local veterans in need. It's important to note that our post is
sorry to interrupt here, but just to give some context, this is the commander of the VFW. That there was some controversy over the fact that he wasn't there the last time, even though there was a signed and notarized document from him. But yeah, this is the commander that he is there now, and he's kind of highlighting, the VFW does quite a bit for the community. This kind of took on a life of itself, to the point where, yeah, all kinds of different forces kind of came out for this particular incident. But let's get a little deeper into this. And yeah, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments.
Solely funded through our members and the patrons who support our club. We receive no government funding. I would like to personally thank Mayor Lightline, Kyle, Tony Karcher, Jenny Horty, and Joe Head for the support they have shown to the veteran community by reaching out and working with us. I would also like to recognize the Boy Scout Troop 175 for purchasing the Constitution for our post.
Yep.
And extend our sincere thanks to those who offered to contribute. If anybody would like to support the Veterans of Foreign War, the American Legion, or the Sons of the American Legion, we are currently raising funds for new flag posts and flags at the cemetery. Donations can be sent to Veterans of Foreign War, 1018 G Street, Geneva, Nebraska. As a community, we can make sure that those who serve and those still with us today are honored and supported with the dignity and respect that they have earned, not just in words, but in lasting tribute for generations to come. Thank you for your time, and thank you for the continued support of the city for our veterans.
Tom?
Okay, so that was Tom. Okay, so that was Tom. This is Mike. Now, unfortunately, this is as loud as I can possibly make it. Let me double dog check. But yeah, this is as loud as I can, unfortunately. Sadly. So you're just going to have to grab a beverage, get real close to your phone or get real close to your computer, and just enjoy the ride. But Michael here does speak, I think it's fair to say, considerably louder. But let's see here 1 second. I think I got away. Well, now. Well, let's rock and roll with Mike while I try to fiddle on my end. Yes, I know. I'm trying to do what I can there, but that's as loud as it goes, unfortunately. So, but Mike, he speaks a bit louder. He lets his voice be heard. Let's just put it that way.
I wrote this down because if I didn't, I'd probably get thrown out of here by professor, and I don't need to go to jail with him tonight. So I'm here to speak tonight as a
strong start.
Army, the National Guard, a citizen of Geneva, and a candidate to unseat Ward 3 councilman. I saw the comments by Jenny Cook, as a dependent, as we call her in the military, the last meeting about veterans and what they should do. First, don't talk about veterans, what veterans do when you yourself never served and are merely a service member's wife. That earns you nothing, and it earns even less when you talk like you did. The so-called apology issued by Jenny was not an apology at all. It wasn't just the tone, but mostly the words themselves that brought backlash. Saying that veterans who raise their right hand to swear to defend the Constitution making a piece of paper framed hanging on the wall, telling them what they served for, is disrespectful and shameful at that. Apparently reading the Constitution, and this is your $3 Constitution that she talked about right here. Apparently reading the Constitution is too much for some. Veterans don't serve for the Constitution. They serve to ensure that God-given rights it protects or preserves so ignorant politicians such as you can sit up there and do as you please. It is more than a piece of paper framed. It's the bedrock of our country that our country was formed on. Your comments have no place in this room and as part of the city council. You allowed emotion to guide more than patience and clarity. Yet when given a chance to apologize, you condescended to the public in a letter to the editor instead of doing it very publicly here tonight. You're a disgrace to the city, and I'm calling for your immediate resignation from the city council. If you want to do what's right,
Wow.
step down as somebody who knows what the Constitution says, and more importantly, how to uphold the rights that it protects. You have no business holding public office and should be ashamed for your actions. I can tell by your apology that you are not ashamed and you do not intend to truly or humbly apologize. As a veteran, I support everyone's freedom of speech and the freedoms protected by the Constitution. However, some people forget that while you have freedom of speech, you aren't free from the consequences of that speech.
Just a moment. I just want to say, this gentleman starts off strong, saying I had to write it down so I wouldn't get arrested, and then calling for the immediate resignation. Starting strong. Like I always say, I believe this gentleman is actually going to run for the seat. So that's what I always say. If you want to criticize, be willing to step up in that regard, because this is local politics. This is local governance. It's not like there's just hundreds of people that are lined up to do these tasks that still need done at the end of the day. So, but yeah, starting strong. We'll just go with that.
Every member of this council that did not step up and stand up to Jenny Cook is as much as fault as she is. You should publicly censure her comments and words. If you can't stand up for veterans and the people of the city, you have no business sitting on the city council. As I said, I'm running as the write-in candidate in November to unseat a fellow Republican because I watched him sit on his butt and not say a word in opposition to Jenny's comments. If I am elected, I'll fight for the board, fight this board on any and every decision that does not better the people of Geneva. I've been a city council member and a mayor, not here in Illinois. I know what it takes to do what is best for the people of the city. Believe me when I say that I will fight for the people of Geneva and not be a yes man to the city as you all have become. And trust me, I've looked back at your voting records. You are elected by people, you serve with the will of people, and you do what is best for the people of Geneva. You have no power sitting on this board. You are not leaders, you're servants. We as the people are the leaders. You are public servants, you're accountable to the people, and if you forget that, you have an obligation to remove yourself from the council. The comments made at the city council meeting were vile, disgusting, and completely inaccurate and absurd. There are 22 veterans a day that die of suicide. You have a councilwoman that says veterans don't ask for help, they help themselves. Comments like that are the reason that veterans feel they have nowhere to turn when they need help. Veterans like me are the ones that raised our right hands, took an oath to protect the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and signed a blank check up to and including death to protect the Constitution. People like Jenny Cook, who have never served in the military, would best be remember their place and as a public servant and keep their opinions to themselves while serving in their official capacity. The fact that you have put the keynote proposal back on the agenda for tonight is a poor attempt to try to save face, passing something you wouldn't even take a vote on last meeting. And the only reason that it'll pass tonight, which it doesn't need to now because it sounds like the Boy Scouts already bought it, would be so that you could save your own butts from being unseated in November. If you think I'll forget, don't. I will stand on the steps of City Hall and hold a sign to remind everyone in this town what a bunch of cowards and scumbag politicians you all are. In closing, remember that you swore an oath to the Constitution of the United States to protect everyone's rights. Fail to do so, and I will make sure that this is your last term on the council. I'll campaign against you or recall you. Do what's best for the people, serve the people, and don't forget you have no power and are not a leader. You are a public servant that serves at the will of the people. Thank you.
That's fine.
Whew, okay. Wow. Very coming out strong, sir. And there he is. And I think that's actually the guy who's actually uploaded this on Facebook. So I'm going off of his Facebook page that he posted on this, but wow. Chicken goes, bravo, sir. Seizing the moment. Hope he sticks with it. I got a funny feeling he's going to stick with it. Call me crazy. I could be wrong on that, but I got a funny feeling. So Goodness gracious. Grow the Farm Up goes, if this were Friday Night Lights, best halftime inspirational speech ever. LOL. I gotta say, like, there was a certain tone, cadence, like it did have like that, like, motivational speech almost kind of cadence to it. But yeah, there was some fire in his belly. I could tell he was not happy. And, like, be frank, a lot of people in the community are not. And we're going to get into here in just a little bit. I actually have on my phone here. Give me one moment. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. I actually have the letter to the editor from Jenny Horty, which I'm going to read here. Grow the Farm Up. Why do I have a sudden urge to run through a brick wall? Oh, good. Kiesha Ragland said he isn't going anywhere. Real Dr. Chicken. Where's the cool guy with the cowboy hat and aviators? He's coming up. But since he mentioned the apology letter, I would be kind of remiss if I didn't read it at least once. This is Jenny Cook's letter that she wrote as a letter to the editor in the local newspaper here, the Nebraska Signal. And I just got it here on my phone, but I'll read it for you. Me. Dear editor, as a member of the Geneva City Council, would like to begin with an apology for the tone I used at the City Council meeting on March 16. It is wise to correct one's own words before addressing the matters around them. In that moment, I allowed emotion to guide my words more than patience and clarity. For that, I take responsibility. In recent days, there has been much conversation regarding the proposal for the city of Geneva to fund framed replica of the United States Constitution for VFW post number 7102, presented by Commander Hyatt and Mr. Wilson. When discussions move quickly, not every voice is heard and not every intention is clearly understood. I offer the following words simply for clarity. For more than 20 years, I lived as a military spouse while my husband served as U.S. Navy officer, both at home and abroad. During that time, I also served within the military community. These experiences shaped my perspective. Still, I recognize that I should not assume others share that understanding. When we do, our words may be misunderstood. For that too, I take responsibility. I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Ron Wilson's passion for seeing the Constitution displayed in public places. That desire to honor our nation's founding principles is worthy of respect. My concern was never about honoring the Constitution. It was whether the process reflects the same humility and stewardship that many service members strive to live by. In the end, we are measured not only by what we support, but by how we support it. My hope is that whatever decisions are made will reflect fairness, stewardship, and a shared respect for the community we serve. Sincerely, Jenny Cook, Geneva, Nebraska. And so that's the letter that we've gotten from the letter to the editor, if you will. Friend of mine was just sending me a message. I thought that was a little funny. But so that was the letter to the editor where there was an apology there. And I said myself, like, if she does apologize, we as a community do kind of need to accept that and move on. Some people feel that there's always the not good enoughs, which, okay, that's their perspective. They're entitled to it. Some feel that it would have been better if she had said something at this meeting, an apology. And I don't know if she does. We'll have to see. I probably would have liked that as well. Just like, hey, everybody, it happens. We all have bad days once in a while. Sorry about that. And that's, pretty much the end of it. But she did go as far as write an apology letter in the local paper. You can't really ignore that. I mean, it starts off, Dear editor, as a member of the Geneva City Council, would like to begin with an apology for the tone I used at the City Council meeting on March 16th. First sentence contains the word apology. To me, I'm willing to say it's like, well, okay, she understood that this was not good. Okay. She understood this was not good, but we will get a little deeper into this because people are wondering, like, where's the cool guys who had the aviators and the cowboy hat? He's coming up. And we will see if at any point during this, she actually states an spoken apology during this meeting, because that would be a good clincher. That would pretty much silence the critics.
Get your name?
Yes, my name is Mike Dennis. I live here in town, 1323 G Street. All right. Good evening, good citizens, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. Just a little background about myself. I moved to Geneva about 6 years ago. I'm an Iraq War veteran and former commander of the Southern American Legion Post 61. And I'm also a current lifetime member of the Geneva VFW Post 7102. I pretty much keep to myself and to my family. I haven't been actively involved with our local VFW here, and I don't personally know Mr. Ron Wilson or Commander Tom Hyatt. Tonight, I just want to make it very clear that I'm speaking only for myself and not on behalf of the VFW post. I also want to let you know that I am currently the secretary of the Fillmore County Democrats. So there's multiple layers of political issues playing out here with this proposal.
Wait,
First issue.
This guy's the head of the Fillmore County Democrats? I mean, how many people are at that meeting? Like 6? Like, Cody Hale, keep it up, Phil. Thank you. God bless. Michael, that's me speaking, Phil. Evil leftist here. I was about to say, like, oh, the Fillmore County Democrats meeting. Did you turn the light off? Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I mean, come on, like, at this point, gotta at least give you credit. You're fighting for what you believe in, even if I disagree with you. God bless. You're fighting for what you believe in, and at least you have something that you believe in. It's kind of like Winston Churchill once said, "Oh, you have enemies or opponents. Good. That means at some point in your life you stood up for something you believe in." And so, God bless. Even though our goals may differ at times, still, God bless you.
I noticed was this morning I spoke candidly with a local business owner who I won't publicly name, but I asked them what their thoughts were about what would happen with the Keno funds request tonight. How would things play out? They surprised me with their response. They basically said that the presenter, Mr. Wilson, approached the council in the wrong way, and the fault was with him that it was denied. The business owner criticized Mr. Wilson for not bringing the VFW executive board to the initial meeting. That shocked me to hear that Mr. Wilson was being blamed at all for this. He did everything he could to get that request presented and have the commander's notarized signature. I respect the business owner, but I respectfully disagree with what was implied. That got me to drive over to the city office and try to sign up to speak earlier. No sign up was required, I found out. I had to make sure that it was noted on the record that Mr. Wilson would have some support. I think Mr. Wilson went above and beyond to present the proposal in a proper format and in a respectful manner. I think the insinuation that he somehow didn't present things properly is absurd, and I hope the council doesn't feel that way right now. The second issue, some members of the council have stated that fundraising should have occurred before a request like this was presented to them. It's my understanding that our VFW produces all of the Keno funds for the city of Geneva. Why would they need to do any other fundraising for such a low-cost item? I don't understand this council's way of thinking about that. The fundraising has already been completed through the Keno operation. Third issue, this council made some disrespectful and disparaging remarks about our VFW commander and our local veterans. I saw today on Facebook that a council person apologized for the, quote, tone of the comments, unquote. However, the tone was only part of the problem. Words matter. The VFW commander is just a title. and service members and veterans should just take care of themselves. Those types of incorrect characterizations.
I gotta pause here again. Like I will say the commander thing did yeah, that just, even like me, that's like not even part of it, it just kind of rubbed me wrong how that was like, man, that's very dismissive, very dismissive. But Michael Chappell himself is actually here. Vote Michael Chappell for Ward 3 write-in candidates. So thank you. And we're actually playing the video on your Facebook page right now at the moment. So yeah, this is the guy who uploaded this. So, thank you much, sir. Thank you. God bless. And we're going to get as deep into this as we can tonight because, well, seems to be the topic du jour this evening and everybody's a little curious. And I'd like to see, like, I'm holding out hope. Like, don't get me wrong. She apologized in the local paper, but I would like to see an in-person apology like that. I don't know what, like, I think that would be the true catharsis. That would be the true, like, okay, all right, we can all just move on if she apologized at some point during this meeting.
Don't sit right with most veterans like me, regardless of party affiliation. Organizations like the VFW and American Legion have a mission of asking for help and advocating the government for services and benefits for our veterans and service members. That's literally what they do. That's what they're chartered to do. For this body to imply that doing that at the local level is somehow wrong is truly offensive. The last thing I want to say is that I think personally the funds would be nice to have for that replica constitution, but if we must sacrifice our dignity as veterans by being denigrated and talked down to like children by this council, then maybe this council should just consider keeping the money. I don't think the veteran community should receive it at that cost. Thank you.
So, I gotta have to agree with quite a bit of what he says. Because yeah, it seemed like such a small expenditure. And yet here we are. And unfortunately, no, Chicken said, "Hey, Phil, can you turn on closed captioning?" Unfortunately, no, I don't even have those as options. So otherwise I would, and I do apologize. But Michael Chappell goes, "There will be more to come. I will be at every meeting speaking and calling out their lack of accountability on many things." Well, okay then. And if you film those meetings, well, we will probably want to play them because people need to be more engaged with their local politics, and that's kind of what we're doing here now. Like, people need to be engaged and be able to have a public square in their own communities, and the internet, we can do that here. Like, it's kind of a strange way of going about it because, like, we all kind of run into each other at Casey's, at the grocery store, and but still, this is where we can come and exchange ideas, and that's what I really like. He goes, "They're not there." Oh, Jenny Cook wasn't there? You're kidding me. No, I thought I heard her. She was present and when they were going through maybe I misheard, but okay. Michael Chappell goes, "I always film my public officials in the course of their duties." I've heard the joke often said, and I don't think there's really, it's not almost not joke anymore. Body cameras on police. Maybe we should also have body cameras on like our senators and our congressmen. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. I was like, I could have swore I heard, but yeah, I think maybe we should have like the people in Washington, D.C. all wear body cameras. That might be a little bit more fruitful endeavor.
I'm Michael Shoup. I'm the chairman of the Fillmore County Republican Party. We came out with a resolution censoring Ms. Cook for her statements that she made in regards to your guys' last meeting.
So this is the head of the Fillmore County Republican Party, and yeah, they've censured Mrs. Cook because of this. And yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is I believe it was in 2020, the 3rd district in Nebraska voted for President Trump in a higher percentage than any other place in the country. I believe it was 89%. I could be wrong on that, but I remember hearing that from actually Nate Dallin, the attorney from Omaha. So that's where I heard that from. So, I mean, just such an avoidable political blunder. It just needs to be said. Jesse West goes, all city council meetings should be recorded and uploaded to YouTube. Most towns I have lived in, big and small, do it. Yeah, true. Like Geneva's kind of like out in the middle of nowhere enough to the point where it's like, maybe just nobody takes the time to do it. But now we do have somebody taking the time to do it. Michael Chappell, and I always say, God bless. If you want to see some change, be the change you want to see in this world. But we continue.
Asking for a formal apology to the VFW and veterans. I will add that there was an apology that was made, but it didn't seem very sincere, and it did not address the two parties at hand. We're coming into America 250, and we need to come together and figure out what brings us together, especially in the climate that we're in. We're a very, very divided culture, and we need to figure out what exactly brings us together, and that's our founding values, our Constitution, the things that we have that no other country has, that we're taking for granted. The First Amendment rights, the Second Amendment rights, your all your Bill of Rights. As a veteran myself, I found those comments that were made in the last meeting to be very, very offensive, and every person that I've talked to has found those unbecoming of an elected official. So I'm going to keep it nice and short here. What I'm asking today is we need to figure out what exactly we're going to do to bring this together and rectify the situation, to get back to our veterans and respect the veterans for what they stand for. I'm not trying to cause more division and stuff that we already have. I want us to come together and what brings us together. And that is us coming together as a community, us taking pride in who we are as a community, us taking pride in our veterans and why we're here to begin with in the first place. That is all. Randy?
Okay, so that was the head of the Nebraska, Fillmore County Republican Party kind of, I didn't hear anything I objected to there, truth be told. Michael Chappell goes, if I get elected, I will push for not only broadcast meetings, but the ability to do public comment from your home through the broadcast. That'd be really cool. Now, unfortunately, Michael, just to be realistic, if you want to do that, they'll probably be like, yeah, let's do it. Unfortunately, you're going to have to kind of do the technological masterminding of all that and going to have to figure out all the logistic on that. Like I said, be the change you want to see, but unfortunately the change is going to have to be you, man. So, hey, but if you can get that done, that would be awesome. That would be that. I think that would actually be really cool. Like, as a guy that's, as a netizen, if you will, because we're all netizens. We are all citizens of the net. And so that the easier that we can interact with our local politicians, the better. Not because it amplifies what's called the heckler's veto, but it gives you it gives you a feedback loop in real time as you're governing. Okay. And that can actually tell you what's happening in your own community. Yes, obviously it's the internet. Some troll from somewhere across the world is going to come in and say something stupid and you ban them. And that's it. But welcome to it. Michael Chappell goes, I am endorsed by the Fillmore Republican Party. Well done, sir. Yeah, this is a very red part of the country. There's just no other way of looking at that. I mean, so that's going to go, and gladly will. Oh, sweet. I hope I got kind of a setup here, but I'm not like some tech savant where I could just get that going. But if somebody can figure that out, God bless them. Jesse West goes, also be careful. The internet is weird. Yeah, that's true. Skinnerd West goes, "Sup, fellers? How we doing? We're just talking about your old stomping ground, Skinnerd. Hope everything's doing fine from the other side of the Missouri River." But we continue.
Did you have?
My name's Renee Conway. I'm a 20-year-old citizen of Geneva. I was not born and raised here like a lot of others, but I call this place my home, and I would choose this place any day over where I grew up. So, good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Although I wear a lot of hats in Fillmore County and several roles in Geneva, tonight I'm going to stand before you as an 18-year veteran of the United States Army. One tour in Iraq and several others stateside. Spending over $800 on a replica of the United States Constitution for display in an American Legion simply isn't a responsible use of funds. The Constitution represents service, sacrifice, and the foundational principles veterans defended, but honoring that doesn't require an expensive decorative item with little practical impact. In many Legion posts, daily use centers, in many Legions posts, they are used as daily use centers around general society, like activity, food, drinks, games, rather than actual structured civic education. In that setting, an $800 replica risks becoming just a background decor, rather than something that meaningfully educates those that it honors. The bigger issue is public funding. The funds could be used in so many other ways that provide clear, direct benefit to the entire community. Allocating $800 of any money in a single display item in a private organization, one that is not universally accessible or primarily educational, raises very legitimate concerns. That same $800 or more could instead be used for veteran assistance programs that directly support those who serve mental health and behavioral health issues, community-wide civic education, infrastructure of services that benefit all of us. If the goal is to honor the Constitution, there are far more effective and inclusive ways to do so. Ways that reach the public, educate meaningfully, and reflect the values that it represents. Standing up for veterans doesn't mean shouting over others or demanding blind agreement. It means making thoughtful, responsible decisions that actually benefit them. Respect goes both ways. And productive conversation gets a lot more done than yelling ever will. Supporting veterans isn't about who can yell the loudest. It's about making decisions that truly help them. Respectful discussions go a lot further than trying to bully a room into agreement. I served this country. I lost a lot. I lost a lot of myself that I never got back until I moved here. I would respectfully ask the council to reconsider the expenditure, prioritize use of the actual funds to more directly serve the community. Bottom line, respecting the Constitution isn't about spending money. It's about using those resources responsibly, transparently, and in ways that truly serve all.
So that was like a Ron Paul Dr. No, like, nope, we shouldn't be spending any money on anything that's not these 2-3 things. I think if Jenny would have started with that, I think there wouldn't have been any, I don't think there would have been any kerfuffle. If Mrs. Cook would have just been like, no, I'm just doing the Ron Paul Dr. No, I'm voting no on anything that's being any money spent on anything, anywhere, ever. I don't think anybody would have really had much of a problem there. Okay, now there is one thing interesting that Dr. Chicken brings up. Are pictures of loved ones on the walls just background? Like, yeah, again, have to be careful how you put it. But Michael Chappell goes, I will be filming meetings and then posting them in the future. I was Facebook Live and it won't let you film in landscape. So I had to film from the back to catch all of it instead of the front where I like to be. Yeah, don't worry about it. Next time, like always, like from purely from a podcasting standpoint, the audio is always the most important thing to grab. So always remember that in the future, sir. Real Dr. Chicken goes, I feel like this has been a respectful discussion. Not sure what she's talking about. I can understand an argument against funds, but I'm not convinced. Yeah, I feel like this is kind of, it's a bit like the arguments are kind of a bit too little too late for the defense of the other side. I understand the arguments, but like, I'm kind of with you, Dr. Chick. It just doesn't feel, it's not all that convincing. I'll be honest. Let's see. R.D. Wilson, the council did consider upgrading the recording system a while back and decided to update the audio version only. To my knowledge, there has been no upgrade to include videotaping of the meeting recording system to date. Okay. All right. And we got from Pete Mitchell, I agree. I agree too, Pete. God bless. Pete Mitchell is my YouTube handle. This is my, oh, okay. Okay. Well, yes, he does. Yeah. Nope. That's Real Dr. Chicken. Yes. Michael Chappell. Pete Mitchell agrees. Well done. Well done, sir. Well done. All right. We're going to continue a little. We move onward and upward.
I'm just here to express my deep concern regarding your comments.
Oh, and Tony is he's dealing with getting the kids all to bed and everything, and it's sometimes that can be fighting a losing battle, and yeah, that's that's a battle he's losing at the moment, but he should be on a little later, but pray for him.
Recent city council meeting. As a member of the council, your remarks were disappointing and fell short of the level of respect expected in your position. In your apology, I did not hear a clear acceptance of responsibility. Instead, it came across as deflection and justification. This only added to the concern rather than resolving it. Your statement referring to Mr. Hyatt as just the commander of the VFW was particularly troubling. That characterization diminishes not only his role, but also the service and sacrifice it represents. Mr. Hyatt is a Purple Heart recipient who has endured the realities of combat and lost fellow service members. His service and the service of all our veterans deserves acknowledgement and respect. As someone connected to a veteran family, I would have expected a greater level of understanding and consideration for those who have served our country. It was also disappointing that the rest of the council and the mayor chose not to address the issue or bring it forward for a discussion or a vote. Leadership requires the willingness to speak up, especially in moments that call for accountability. Additionally, the request from the VFW for a modest contribution, less than $500 from the K.O.E fund to purchase the Constitution for public display.
I'm sorry. I got to pause for just a minute because this is too funny. So Jesse West goes, spend $500 on a streaming camera. One camera can do it all for you easy. Skinner West goes, just don't ask to pull it from the K.O.E funds. LOL. Ouch. And then Pete Mitchell goes, grow the farm up. I don't do government via Twitter. I'm a firm believer in governing in the open. It's all about transparency with me. And Keisha Agrarland, I think I got it, goes, vote Mike Chappell for City Council Ward 3, November 3rd write-in. I'll have to look a little closer to see how I pronounce that. But we're going to call you Keisha for now. All right. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. But we're going to get a little deeper into this because I want to see where she finishes off with this, actually.
Is a reasonable and meaningful ask. The VFW has made significant contributions to this community, and supporting this request would be a small but appropriate gesture in return. I respectfully urge you to reflect on your comments and the impacts they had, and the and to approach future discussions involving our veterans and their service with the respect that it deserves. Thank you.
Tony?
Keisha Ragland. Okay, got it right, finally.
Someone over there. I'll speak up. If you don't mind, I'll speak a little louder. It's a little difficult to get out there to the front.
I think this is
My name is
RD.
Ronnie Wilson. I believe everyone on the council knows me. For those who don't, I have been a citizen of Geneva for about 4 years. Moved my family out here because I thought it would be a great place to be, and I still do. But for tonight, I wish only that it be made clear that my intent presenting the original proposal to the council was based on my belief that it was just the right thing to do. Mayor Lightwine, I yield back, sir.
Thank you, Ronnie. Any other public comments?
So, Mr. Wilson.
Sure.
Okay, Barb Kraft. I was county treasurer for 20 years. When I took over being county treasurer, that's when Gregory became the keynote. And so the money came to the county, and every year the county put out a notice for grant money to be used. And we put out a lot of money. So far, what I and the city took over when they annexed Gregory, and I believe that was in 2007. And the only part that I don't know why you're hoarding the money. You've got almost $137,000 in the Keno account and almost $50,000 in the reserve account. And I noticed the 5 grants that you gave was to the Missoula Children's Theater for $2,000 every year. And maybe one other time you gave grant money or you used the grant money was when you tore down some houses over here and you sold the houses and I think or sold the property for $4,500 and you paid Stan Tatro $9,212 to demolish the houses. And that's the only Keno money I can see that's been spent. So what is $442? So do you not put out notices for grant money every year?
I think we do that twice a year, Barb.
Okay, who else have you? I've never seen the signal where it was available.
Oh, I'm sorry, Barb, the community betterment grant.
Yeah, I see you do a
Yep.
lot of that.
Yep.
Yes, but I have not seen the Keno money. So I'm just curious why you're hoarding the money and not putting it out there. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb.
Grow the Farm Up asks, how long have you lived in Ward 3, Mike Chappell? Fair question. Jesse West, you go, lady. Like, yeah, I was kind of surprised. Like, okay, full disclosure, my family's been here for 5 generations. Okay, so I was kind of surprised how many, like, hey, I've been here 3 years. Hey, I've been here 5 years. Been here 6 years. It's like, wow. Who are all these? A lot of folks moving here. Jesse West goes, you go, lady. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, we all love Barb. She's great. Pete, Mike goes, about 2 years. Grow the Farm Up. That's what I thought, Mike. Oh, some shade thrown. Because, I'm a 5th generation farmer. And so, yeah, we've been here. Farm was established in the year 1900 here just about a mile and a half outside of Geneva. And so that's, to say I got some roots here would be an understatement. When I go to the graveyard, it goes well over 100 years back of people that I've got here. Just got deep roots. American Lynn, why is Chappell elected and not able to be on the ballot? What is the deadline on that? Mr. Chappell goes, I might be new, but don't mean I haven't seen what is going on. Okay. So yeah, we got some shade getting thrown around here. Now, hey, as a guy that's got some deep roots here, yeah, don't get wrong, like a lot of us know each other, have been known, and a lot of families have known each other for generations now around here. That's just kind of the way this place is here. Let's see. Grow the Farm Up goes, been in Ward 3 for 46 years. That's a stretch. Yeah, Grow the Farm Up's been in Ward 3 for 46 years. So, okay, fair question. Fair question to ask anybody that seeks office. Mike goes, I missed the ballot deadline by a few weeks. Interesting. So, all right. So Mike's wanting to be a write-in candidate. Just keep that in mind, folks. But we continue onward.
Confusion. This is like a franchise fee. I mean, it's not tax money. I mean, nobody in the
No. Grow the Farm Up is not Galen. Grow the Farm Up's my brother. So I can definitely say he is not Galen. That is beyond a shadow of a doubt. I actually know Galen Rasmussen from many years ago. Okay, but no, I don't know how long he's been here, but it's certainly no 46 years. No. But we continue.
Oh, I think so. But nobody is tax money. It's a franchise fee, no different than the cable company pays or whatever else. And the thing that you guys are the stewards of this money, but it's not tax money.
Grow the Farm Up goes, and you missed the deadline.
Any other public comments this time?
I'll speak a little bit. I'm Sam Base here, not a citizen of Geneva, Nebraska, but I'm here with the just a little bit about that. I served 2 years ago now in support of SEAL teams, RSOC, APSOC in Somalia, doing CPA, TCSAR, set 4 operations there. First thing I want to say, a little lighter note, Councilwoman Cook, thank you for your husband's service, and also thank you for your sacrifices in supporting him during his time in service. Your comments, necessarily in my opinions on it, not as aggravating as a lot of people would have said. I'm low enlisted. I have a lot of unhinged opinions about a lot of stuff, especially service language. But as far as the regards of the proposal with the Constitution, I don't speak personally for the VFW on this. Is my own opinion as a member and as a vet. I would advise you to just drop the proposal. We have it paid for. It's not really necessary. As far as community involvement with this whole uproar and drama, with whether your comments, I will say you made your own bed, your freedom of speech. I'm not going to defend them. I've been a member and involved with the VFW very briefly since I'm 22 years old, only recently become a member and been involved. But the community uproar behind this whole event, this whole drama, and behind your comments aggravates me because recently we had to shut our kitchen down because we didn't have community support. All of a sudden, there's a little bit of drama. Everybody comes in and there's all this support for the VFW. Where was that when we were losing money in our kitchen? That's all I really have to say. Thank you for having us. Thank you for hearing us out. Again, thank you for your open service. Thank you for your sacrifices.
So his complaint was, where was all this support earlier? I understand that, but to me, usually that kind of misses the point. People pay attention to things for reasons, for events. It's because of the stories of our lives and how we get wrapped up in them. And so, yeah, this captured people's imaginations. And so it doesn't surprise me that, yeah, people came out and supported the V over this. When there's a catalyzing event where there's people on one side of it, and there's another side, you've created an issue, that will bring support. So just count your blessings in those regards. Don't complain, well, why wasn't this here earlier? Well, there's probably a reason. let's see. Michael Chappell goes, I have no desire to be in politics until I could no longer stand by and watch the council do nothing to improve the city. Our sidewalks and roads are a joke. And he continues, at least I'm trying to be the change I'd like to see. And he continues, it appears by the bills that the city is paying 3 child support payments is our tax money. We pay someone each month to clean our firehouse. As a 15-year veteran of volunteer firefighter department in Illinois, we cleaned I'm guessing it means we cleaned our own firehouse. I'm guessing that's what that meant to say. So some shades getting thrown all about, folks. Grow the farm ups doing the how long have you been here, sir? And Michael Chappell's coming back with, hey, these are my stances. This is what I think. Now, granted, I understand where you're coming from, sir. We will see. We will see. It's usually kind of an uphill battle for write-in candidates, but God bless you on your quest. But we continue onward and upward.
Sam? Any other public comment at this time? Sure.
I'm Deanna Ebert, live here in Geneva. I think mine's, I'm not a veteran. I don't think anyone in my family has served. So I have no place to stand as far as these wonderful people who've spoken there on that. Today, sorry, it's so weird. Sorry. Hearing that story of that recovered serviceman in Abraham, I was listening to a YouTube video about it today, and how we lost so many big planes and helicopters.
Sometimes you do need to just take a breath and let it out before you speak publicly. That's one of my best pieces of advice to people is before you're going to speak publicly, either go in prayer or just regulate your breathing, do one. You'd be shocked how much that helps you.
We had to blow up our own stuff so that they couldn't get it. And it was like this crap show that went down. But they got the guy. And then it cost upward of $1 billion to rescue that one man. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm glad, but it seems kind of like a waste of money. Like that's the initial thought to it. That the veteran who was doing the video.
I do recall this one was an interesting entry, but I want to catch up on some comments here. R.D. Wilson says, the ask, as clearly stated in the proposal, as a suggestion that the city could use the funds directly to make the purchase. One only needs to read the statement under the heading of implementation at the bottom of the proposal. And there was no action taken in any form at the March 16 meeting. Jesse West goes, still think Barb calling out the non-spending has been the best so far. And I'm a staunch libertarian. If you have the tax money collected, you should do something with it. True. I mean, do something to help the community. I mean, I get having some money for a rainy day because that rainy day does eventually come. But unfortunately, we found sometimes people get elected on running up the credit card. So we continue.
He's like, a single veteran in your truck? That's not a waste of money. That's what we do for these men. It doesn't matter. We'll pay anything. We don't leave our guys behind. And I'd go, you know what? They know better than I do. Who am I to say it's not my thing? And so I think that would just be my reminder to everyone. It's like, I believe the VFW people who are not, these veterans who have served, know what they're fiscally responsible. I have no reason to believe they're not. And I don't think that they would present things that they didn't think had value or had done their research. And so in that respect, especially for all of us who are not in that, go the dog in that fight, to remember they're willing to spend anything on their men. I think we should be willing to listen and go, if that's what you need, take it. Like, it may not make sense to us, but I'm going to trust their judgment and go, you know what? It makes sense to you, and I will support that. And, I agree with that gentleman. I'm like, I didn't even know about the kitchen thing. So, I mean, I would really say as a community, like, let's start doing more for them. Like, I literally did not even hear about that. So, I don't know how you guys can facilitate that, but if we could do more public engagement with veterans, I think that would be good for everyone, especially because we're all together now in war. So, like it or not, we've got to come together. We may have some of our young ones going off to this conflict. We don't know how long it's going to last. So, I think we should really use this point to stop, re-engage together, get back on the same page, support civic involvement, supporting the Constitution, supporting these young people who may end up going and having to die for these rights in the next however long. So that was just my thought.
Thank you for your comment.
Now,
Let's see who we got. Oh, Tom. Tom's coming up.
Well, I'm Tom Ortiz. Evening, Tom. How you doing? I want to apologize for not being here the last week. I assumed Tom was going to be here and do his work. It didn't happen. I think that if hindsight's always 20/20, we all know that. And I'm really sorry it's got this far. But I also want to reiterate how much you people have worked with me on the development of the Veterans Memorial Park. The city has done a lot. They've given us a blessing to proceed with it. It had been sitting there for years, you know, and so the city has worked well as far as I'm concerned with the veterans. I've come here for begging for flags on the community betterment, and you've awarded the flags to me. You've done a lot for the veterans that a lot of people don't understand and realize that. But to the tune of right now, I believe Kyle and I were talking about over $70,000 that you have given toward veterans programs, you know, to the Veterans Park, flags. I've been involved in quite a few fundraisers in this community. The first one I was probably involved with was the rescue unit in 1978. I sat on that ducky booth for 2 years trying to raise money so we could buy a rescue unit, and all we didn't use any tax dollars. And I was fortunate enough to drive it to Geneva. So throughout the years, with Boys Pond Breakfast, Fire Department, Rescue Squad, numerous other activities in the community, the city council has worked well when it's presented in a way that's going to benefit. And I think the Constitution, Tom and I talked about it, Tom Hyatt and I talked about it, and we both agreed it wasn't going to hurt a thing at the club. It would be an asset to us in a sense, you know, especially now with the two.
Got some comments I need to catch up on here, but sorry to interrupt you, Tom. But Michael Chappell goes, just for reference, I, along with 2 other council members in Illinois, took our town from $500K deficit to $500K surplus, repaved all the roads, and completely rebuilt our water treatment systems. Like, don't get me wrong, that sounds real good, but you know, it's like, well, how'd you wind up here? I just gotta ask. I want a committee to actively search out and bring new businesses to our town. I love it here and want to make it better for everyone. Glad to hear. I'm just now kind of wondering, like, how'd you wind up here? Like, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I love it here. Don't get me wrong, but it's, you know, it's a strange place to land if you're not from here. You know what I mean? Like, that's just kind of my question. And he goes, I wish I could cook better. I definitely help the VFW bring back the Sunday brunch. Nice. Grow the Farm Up goes, the council is about understanding the large ag economy and how it affects every business in Geneva. People are trying to buy groceries, for example. Geneva has more new roads than any other town our size. I took a job here and wanted out of Communist Republic of Illinois. That's a good enough reason. Actually, I think like 6 generations ago, our family, I think we came from Illinois, I'm pretty sure. So at least one of us, one of my greats. So yeah, and we've been here for a very long time, but proudly, actually. But we continue on with good old Tom Workey.
250th year of our independence. And the Bill of Rights, everything. And I've spent some time researching the Constitution since all this has happened in the last few weeks. And it's very interesting, especially when you get into it. And I can understand now why the government fights so much about it. And there's so many interpretations. But I just want to thank you, and I'm glad, I'm happy that the Scouts picked it up. That's fine. You know, I think the last meeting, it probably should have never advanced as far as it did because there was never a motion. It should have been, according to Robert's Rule of Order, a motion, second, and discussion. Discussion should always follow the proper procedure. And I think if that would have happened, it would have been a completely different issue. But thank you for your time and your cooperation with what you have done for us so far.
Thank you, Tom. Look forward to continuing to work with you.
Well, Tom.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, we got a couple more.
Born and raised in Geneva, U.S. Army veteran as well.
A couple of comments to catch up on. Michael Chappell goes, the K.O.E funds can be used for anything that taxes can be used for. I'd love to talk to you about what you want to see from the city. Grow the farm up. Grow the farm up goes, I've been here long enough to see every road built and rebuilt 2 times. Our roads are better than 95% of the towns our size. Sidewalks are impeccable. We have a walk around the hospital. Let's see. We got Shoot Michael. Wonder who that could be. Robert's Rule of Order calls for a motion and a second, then discussion. Jenny Cook was completely out of order and shouldn't have said anything. If she was corrected, this wouldn't have happened at all. And we will get to that here a little bit. But we got just a little more here to go.
Cody, I sent you an email about 3 weeks ago. Didn't hear anything back. I get it. Everyone's busy. There's a lot going on with this. My biggest issue with this whole thing is the decorum and the respect. So whether it be that this passes, doesn't pass, is what it is. The last city council meeting I was at was actually for the city park. And I told another gentleman that is in here today that would be the last city meeting I ever go to because it was so disgusting. Joe Casey got hounded left and right over that park for no reason from another council member. So it wasn't disrespect from this side, this way, that way. You guys were eating each other up here. And it just blows my mind that how small of a community we are. We can't just get along. Half the people up here I go to church with. The other half I went to high school with your kids. Like, you're all good people. We all enjoy each other. I just wish we just had a lot more respect talking to one another and not belittling or making it seem like people don't know what they're talking about, or it's just really ugly and it doesn't represent this community. So, thanks.
Thank you, Wyatt.
And we got from Michael Chappell, the sidewalks in Ward 3 are terrible. The hospital put it in the walkway. City says that sidewalks are to be fixed by the homeowners, even though the city owns them. Makes no sense to me. And Dr. Chicken goes, Robert's Rule gets made fun of, but here's an example of why they are important. Rock and roll. Let's rock and roll further.
All right. With that, we will move on to the next item on our agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I so move.
We got a motion by Ed. Is there a second? Second by Cook. Roll call.
Lacy? Cook?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Forty? Yes. Archer? Yes. Rasmussen?
Minutes from the meeting of March 16th, 2026 are attached. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes at this time? Hearing none, those will be published and filed. First item under communications tonight, we have the city sales tax collections. The first month of the year is in.
Okay, just one moment. I want to read an article here. This is from News Channel Nebraska. Let's give you, oh, my beautiful full face. Let's see. Michael Chappell goes, grow the farm up. It's not too late to be a write-in. Have you ever served? Here is your chance. Sorry, that did sound a little Jesse Ventura for a second. Did you serve? Did you serve? Like, Jesse, we're talking about school lunches here, man. I love Jesse Ventura because he's 1,000 miles out of his mind. We all love Jesse for that reason. But now here's the article. I'll just post it up here. Give me just a few seconds and bam, there we go. Here's the article, and I will read it for all of you. I'll grow the farm up goes, why do you want to cost a bunch of homeowners thousands of dollars so you can look at nice sidewalks? In the real world, those homeowners have bills to pay. Oh, it's getting hot in here, folks. The comments are heating up a bit. All right, let's see. All right, Geneva. A conversation that sparked more controversy and discourse in the Southeast Nebraska City Council meeting last month has reached a conclusion. Last month, the Geneva City Council was presented with a proposal asking the city to tap into K.O.E funds to pay for a copy of the Constitution to be posted in the town's Veterans of Foreign Wars post. Many on social media took issue with the council person's Jenny Cook's reaction to that suggestion, and no action was taken. Monday night, that proposal was on the table again. 10 people, most of whom are themselves military veterans, spoke during public comment. Most, but not all, further criticized Cook's comments and the council's lack of action last month. Mayor Cody Lightwine outlined that Monday that the council did not pursue the proposal further last month because they technically required a representative from the organization in question to be present to discuss whatever is being proposed. VFW Post Commander Tom Hyatt was unable to attend last month's meeting, and Ronnie Wilson presented the proposal independent of the VFW. And this month, that proposal was back on the table, but was eventually removed, and there ultimately was no action for the council to take because the funding to acquire the Constitution had since been provided by another source. Quote, the reason I thought it would be a good idea to have the Constitution on the wall at this time is that it's the 250th anniversary of the United States. And considering the state of the world right now, it serves as a reminder for service members of the oath they took, and it's a good reminder of the principles we stand for, end quote, Hyatt said in public comment. Quote, the city has spent over $70,000 partnering with our veterans, and thanks to the hard work of many, one of the best, most beautiful veterans memorials that I've ever seen in my travels. We're quite lucky to be in Fillmore County, where we're surrounded by these, literally, end quote, Lightwine said. Hyatt confirmed that the Boy Scout troop has agreed to foot the $449 bill as a payback for the VFW, letting the Scouts use some of their space to host events with no charge. I would say since the Boy Scouts took care of it, I appreciate the community involvement and activity and support of the VFW, and I don't think it's necessary for you guys to make a motion or whatever you do, end quote, Hyatt said, effectively wrapping up the conversation. The club is also raising money to replace their flags and flagpoles, which have been damaged by the recent winds. So there you go, folks. That is somewhat of the conclusion to all this. But let's see, we got a couple more funds here, comments here. Michael Chappell says the K.O.E funds can be used for the repairs of the sidewalks and roads. I'm not talking about using tax money. Jesse West goes, Bill, I need to see at least 2 more American flags on this screen and a Constitution. Well, let's see. All right, there's a bit more of an American flag. How's about that? You know, I can give you one more. How's that, chicken? One more? That's a pretty good deal. It's a pretty good deal. That's a lot of America. That's a lot of America. And now Michael Chappell goes, 200K goes a long way when you know how to repair roads and sidewalks like I do. I'm not some young punk that doesn't know what he's talking about. Ooh, here we go. Grow the Farm Up goes, anytime the government is involved in a project, we all pay. 46 years have taught me we all pay. If your house is on the lucky block, you pay tenfold. Michael Chappell goes, want to see the thousands of dollars that the council wastes monthly? I have the records. Grow the Farm Up. I know nothing about you. Nice to meet you. I will be the brick wall you run into when you try to spend money on anything other than water quality systems upgrades in Ward 3. Oh, snap. Yep, because that is Grow the Farm Up's that's something close to his heart. If you're wanting to upgrade the water quality systems in Ward 3, he's your biggest ally. Spending tax dollars on pretty much anything other than that, he's not going to be your biggest ally. No. So that was more or less because, yeah, the city council goes into some other topics and some other issues. No, it sounds like I was wrong. I was wrong. They continue. They continue on for a few more minutes. So we'll get into that here in a second. But one more comment. I agree with the water quality upgrade. The hard water and nastiness that clogs our pipes is ridiculous. So yeah, welcome to Nebraska politics, where water quality is pretty much the topic du jour, if you will. But let's just, we're so close. Let's just give it a few more minutes of this particular presentation. Let's rock and roll with it, folks.
Casey? Cook? Ed?
Yes.
Forty? Archer? Yes.
All right, up next, consideration to award an economic development sales tax grant funds to business on project.
I know this sounds like you're getting off topic, but no, they actually circle back to the Constitution thing again.
Motion by Parker, is there a second? Second by Casey. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Archer? Yes. Rasmussen?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Forty?
The next item of business on the agenda tonight is consideration of Frank Phillippe as a new fire and rescue department member. So as you guys know, this is standard procedure. The fire department goes through their process to vet and meet with those members that they're looking to recruit, and then they send them to the council. Is there a motion to approve the membership of Frank Phillippe? We have a motion by Gordy. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ed. Any discussion? Roll call.
Ed?
Yes.
Forty? Yes. Archer? Yes. Rasmussen?
Yes.
Casey? Cook? Yes.
All right. The final item of business tonight on the agenda is consideration of a K.O.E grant request for the replica of the United States Constitution at the VFW. So as Tom reminded you all, the city has spent over $70,000 partnering with our veterans, and thanks to Tom, Don and Nori, and many, many others' hard work, we have one of the most beautiful veteran memorial parks I've ever seen in my travels. We're quite lucky to be in Fillmore County, where we're surrounded by these, literally. There's one in Fairmont, there's one in Geneva, there's one in Chiclet, and they're all beautiful. They make the communities, they become focal points for the communities. As most of you know, past practices of this committee have been to have a representative of the organization in the room. And as Tom stated, he was not able to be here. He thought he would make it, but he had a work commitment, comes up, it happens to everybody, we understand. That's why we have this back on the agenda tonight, but it sounds like the Boy Scouts have purchased the Constitution for the VFW. And so I guess I would leave it to you guys. Would you like to withdraw that request at this time then?
I request they repay the Boy Scouts.
Does it need to be, as a matter of formality, withdrawn?
got a considerable amount of money. They've got quite a bit of money.
Never
They're
entered.
doing well in Boy Scouts.
There is not a motion
I'm
on
just
the
saying.
floor.
I know. Just keep on going a little bit. I was out.
You can hear Tom saying, I think they should repay the Boy Scouts. Michael Chappell goes, I sincerely think that we should see eye to eye on a lot if you want to talk. Girl the Farm Up goes, you're new, all in good time. Let's finish the video. And Michael goes, I might be new here, but I promise you I've been around and have a ton of experience in local governments. So, interesting. Grow the Farm Up. There's been some bombs thrown in the comments tonight. And hey, folks, this is the open platform to bring it.
Excuse me, Joe. I would say since the Boy Scouts took care of it, I appreciate the community's involvement and activity and support for the VFW. And I don't think it's necessary for you guys to even make a motion or whatever you do.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that.
Mr. Mayor, I would also like to say the Boy Scouts, through their flag program, which everybody should be aware of, for $25, they put a flag in your yard 4 times a year and take them down. And I know that just lately, the Lions Club has been helping them because they're a little short of members. You know, so that is one of their money makers. And I visited with one of the scout leaders last week who graciously told us also that they wrote a check for the Constitution, and I thought that was really nice. And so they are funded. And they do a lot. They helped us out at the Veterans Park when we initially dedicated the park to the community. So they're doing well.
It's a great program, Tom.
Other than the fact they need members, you know, and they did present it to the Lions Club here a couple meetings ago that they were trying to get the Cub Scouts organized again in Geneva. So without them, you know, you're not going to get a whole lot of membership moving up.
Yeah, it's a great program. I'm fortunate on North Main Street. People participate in those 4 days a year. It looks absolutely beautiful for the rest of life down the street. So with that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I shall move.
Got a motion by Head. Is there a second? Second by Cook. Roll call.
Rasmussen?
Yes.
Casey?
Yes.
Cook?
Yes.
Head?
Yes.
Forty? Yes. Parker? Yes.
Geneva City Council is adjourned. Our next meeting will be April 20th at 6 p.m. Thank you, everybody.
April 20th, 6 p.m. Be there or be square. So, there you have it, folks. The fireworks from the VFW Constitution Gate. VFW Gate, if you will. So, we've had some fireworks in the comments as well. We've had Michael Chaplin Grow the Farm Up get into intellectual fisticuffs, if you will. But let me know what your thoughts on all this are, folks, because we're gonna kind of circle back to the cause of all this as we end the show. But folks, what I want you to realize is, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, thank you for joining us this evening for this VFW special. As soon as the Constitution is on the wall, folks, you know right here will be the place to be to see it actually come up there. But folks, this has been our look into local governance. This has been our look into how our community is run. And we came together, and guess what? We gave pushback to our elected officials and they listened. Okay, we actually got them to apologize, say they're sorry, and actually respond to what it is that we felt was a legitimate use of resources. So, folks, this and you, every one of you, is an example of being the change you wanted to see. Just by being here, just by making your voice known here at the Big Buckin' Empire, at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all the different places that you can think of, folks. That's how we came together. That's how we figured out what's what in this particular issue. And we as a community were able to come to consensus. There was a thesis, an antithesis, and we came together with synthesis. Okay. So it was a beautiful, beautiful moment. And all of us, folks, and again, like the good book says, forgive others as Christ has forgiven you. If they give an apology, we can forgive. That doesn't mean that, don't run against them, but, that's fine. We all live in the same community together. Like if there's a disaster of some kind, we're going to be helping each other clear each other's yards and dig each other out of the rubble. Okay. So kind of keep that in mind. These are your neighbors, and we don't need to tear each other to bits just because there's disagreement. We are better than this. Okay. And so I love every last one of you for coming together. And let's see, Michael goes, in order for Jenny Cook to apologize on the city council meeting, she would have had to request to be on the agenda prior. That's unfortunate because I even feel like even just like after the meetings, like, hey, everybody, sorry about that. Like, I think that would have been appreciated, but that's unfortunate because the critics aren't going to be silenced by the newspaper. To me, the newspaper, she apologized. It's good enough. I mean, like she actually apologized, said she was sorry. I mean, yeah, I get it. I didn't agree with what she said. And I don't really know what ethics she was appealing to, but she apologized. I can move on from there. Now, if somebody wants to run against her, God bless, go for it. But yeah, that's too bad, Michael. And then American Lynn goes, I love seeing our community coming together, even when we disagree. Civil engagement is always good. And so to kind of leave off, we're going to go back to the cause of all this, as Arn Anderson would say. And we're going to explore a little deeper. We're going to go back to the original video. Okay? We're going to go back to the original video that, well, got us all here, if you will. So that's going to be how we're going to end this show. All that being said, God bless every last one of you. And this will be the last time this is probably played on the live stream here. And this is from R.D. Wilson's Facebook feed. And this is the cause of all this.
Our one and only item of business tonight, consideration of a K.O.E grant request for a replica of the U.S. Constitution at the VFW. Mr. Ron Wilson, would you like to address the council with a summary of your proposal here?
Yes, absolutely. Well, first off,
Address the council with a summary.
the proposal went through about 5 or 6 drafts. Reason being, we wanted to make it as clear as possible and concise so you folks could make a good decision right away. It's basically for you folks to purchase with the K.O.E funds a replica that we indicated in the proposal to be hung in the VFW.
And this would come from National Archives Center, is that right?
That is where I have been buying the ones that I buy. It is a government organization and their quality of product is excellent.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Ron?
I have some things to say.
Okay.
So, this sits really wrong with me. I'm just gonna come out and say that. Might have some bias with this, I don't know, but, the military way is not to ask the community to give to them, it's to support themselves from within. And that's how it's always been done, that's the way it's always done. I'm under the impression that the VFW hasn't had one for a number of years, decades maybe even. And if it hasn't been important up till now, I don't know how old this VFW is, but it's been around since I've been little, right? And they haven't had one. I don't know why there's all of a sudden a need to have it. Again, like I said, the military, they help the community. They don't ask for the community to give them things. I'm just gonna leave it with that it sits really wrong with me that we're being asked to give from our community to the VFW, something that I don't think it's of great value that it needs to be. They've had it this long without it. People who serve, they know damn well what they are serving for. They don't need a piece of paper frame hanging up on a wall to tell them what they serve for. Their families know that as well. They sacrifice, they all know. So, like I said, it just sits very wrong with me. I haven't seen that there's been any fundraising done to try to pay for this or ask of the members to give a little bit of something to pay for this. Maybe it has and it just hasn't come to us, but that's the way the military does it. And so that, I guess that's probably why it really sits wrong with me. Okay, that's all I have.
Thank you. Anybody else have anything they'd like to add?
Is the commander interested in coming to visit with us, Tom Hyatt?
I did speak with Commander Hyatt yesterday, and he said he was gonna try to be here. I haven't had contact with him today. However, the signature that he placed on the proposal was notarized. Yes, Ms. Rickon? You saw the notarization.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you were asking me.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was. It's not necessary on this, but it was. There was documentation.
It's fine if Mike and I want to go to it. I'm big problem.
Thank you, Greg. But I think we talked about this before when we were talking about the Missoula Children's Theater. How much money is in the account?
So here I can tell you, $136,700 round number.
And pretty specific things that money can be spent on, correct? I mean, like,
It's specifically yet not. I mean, it's pretty wide open to community betterment-ish type things in general. And as he put in here, specifically that, he puts a couple sections he quoted in here, but there's multiple sections. I think the Missoula Theater would be one, but it could be used for community centers, community events, things that benefit general public in a sense.
Ron, can you tell us why this one and this one are different and why that's important? Or I think it was your impetus, am I incorrect, that we have our Constitution up here?
I did make the suggestion, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there a way to do this cheaper? I guess, I don't know, I'm just like, what made you pick this frame, does it come in the frame?
I believe, and Commander Hyatt and other members of the VFW have agreed that that is a place that is special, and we should have a special replica of our Constitution in that place that honors both the Constitution and our members of the service.
The VFW sells them for $3. If you go to their site, they will sell you one for $3. I did not catch this, but what they suggest is, I don't think it's probably framed, but what they suggest costs $3. You can also get pocket ones.
Well, if we're talking about money, folks, I did the simple math. The cost of this particular replica is 0.00367% of the funds available. And it's a great representation of our Constitution.
Well, I'm not opposed to this, but I'd like to see us follow up on what Jenny just said about if you can get one cheaper. I mean, I don't want to be cheap about it, but the Constitution's a Constitution, That's what I have to say.
I guess the other thing I'm kind of wondering too, again, I'm not against the pride in that, in doing something nice and supporting and community betterment, but I guess I'm wondering other support, like if other individuals from the VFW or Tom was able to be here to kind of express how they're feeling about it. other representation of the members?
Well, the proposal is that the funds that are available in the Keno Fund and are for this purpose, I'm not sure that there should be a need to look elsewhere for money. After all, these are the folks that provide the place where the Keno money is generated. And it's the VFW folks. And it's not a military organization, it's the people who served in war. For this kind of little tiny bit of money, I'm lost. I'll leave it in your hands.
So for me, it's not, honestly, for me, it's not about the money. It's not about having a constitution up there. That's you for me. It's the way in which it's being presented to us without having gone from within. And that's the way the military works. You support yourself. If it means that much to you, you find a way from within, from your members to support this, to get this. They serve the community, they don't take from the community. That's just the way the military is. That's been my experience with the military, just the way it is. That you go from, if it, something, especially at this little cost, you find the way of getting it from within, from your members, from other organizations, I guess, that would support the military. I mean, from within, go up to Offutt and see if they would, the Air Force would help support something. I don't know. You find from within the military to support something like this. You don't go out to the community and take away from the community. Because that's my main point, I guess. Is I just don't like the way it's been presented to us without having first already tried to get the means for this from within. Because that's the way the military works.
With due respect, this is just, my intent was this is just an act of patriotism. That's all it is, and you folks choose to join in that act of patriotism, that's your
Jill has
choice.
one posted up, and her, I don't know if we.
I'm just curious what other members are feeling from the VFW, so more information from.
Well, Mr. Hyatt signed it, and he talked to his people about it. And he
He's not
agreed
here
to the
represent
proposal.
them. He's not here to tell us what they said.
His signature is, I'm sorry that meant it. Can we move to the next meeting? I'll try to make sure he gets here, just so you can see his face. His signature is there. It was wet signed, it was notarized. Is that not proof that he agrees?
I don't think anybody's saying that Tom doesn't agree. We're questioning Tom's signature in any way.
Well, and he's a commander, ma'am. He represents
Do you know what that
them.
means? Do you know what that term means? Commander Hyatt,
He-
for the VFW. Do you know what that means?
He's in charge of the VFW.
That's all that means, is that he's in charge of the VFW.
Okay.
Okay, so a commander of a base just means that he's in charge of the base.
Mhm.
It doesn't really, it's just a title that they've given to him. I get out of respect. I get the military. I get it. Okay. Again, my beef with this is that this is not the military way. And I feel like it insults those who have served in the way that it's being asked of us.
I respectfully disagree, ma'am. I think this is a great way to show the members of the military in just one more little way that we do respect them. That is just my feeling. I'm not here to represent anyone at the VFW, only myself as a patriot.
All right, so with that, I guess we'll move on. Thanks, Ron.
Thank you.
Up next.
Paul,
claims.
what, do you make a decision now or no?
There was no motion, so.
Oh, very good.